Evan wasn't gifted, not smart enough to stand out, not charismatic enough to attract attention, not talented enough to impress people. He watched others succeed naturally while he struggled with everything. And after years of losing, he started believing he was simply born average. Until one brutal realization changed his entire life. Talent means nothing if disciplined people keep outworking you. Evan spent most of his life envying talented people. The athletes who learned fast, the creators who grew quickly, the confident people who walked into rooms like they owned them. Meanwhile, everything felt harder for him. He failed interviews, quit hobbies quickly, lost motivation constantly, and eventually, he stopped trying seriously because failure repeated enough times creates something dangerous. Learned helplessness, the belief that no matter what you do, nothing will change. That mindset nearly ruined his life. One afternoon, Evan attended a small entrepreneurship event with friends. Everyone talked about goals and achievements. One guy launched a startup at 19. Another already made money online. Then someone looked at Evan and asked, "So what are you good at?" Silence. He genuinely didn't know. That moment crushed him. Because for the first time, he realized he built his entire identity around being potentially successful someday. Not actually successful. Potential is comforting. Reality isn't. That night, Evan sat alone watching motivational videos again. Same routine, same fake inspiration. But suddenly, one sentence hit him hard. Hard work becomes dangerous when it stops depending on motivation. He paused the video instantly, because that was his problem. He only worked when he felt inspired. And inspiration disappears fast. That's why his life never changed. He was relying on emotion instead of systems. At 2:03 a.m., Evan grabbed a notebook and wrote, "Become disciplined enough to beat talented people." That sentence became his obsession. The next morning he started simple. Wake up early, work out daily, read 10 pages, study one skill consistently, nothing flashy. But unlike before, this time he refused to negotiate with himself. No excuses, no waiting for motivation, no, "I'll start tomorrow." And honestly, the beginning sucked. Discipline felt painful, because his brain was addicted to comfort and instant gratification. But every uncomfortable action slowly changed him. Months passed. Friends laughed at his routines. People said he was doing too much. But Evan kept going quietly, because for the first time in years, he respected himself. That's powerful. When someone starts respecting themselves, their standards rise automatically. They stop wasting time, stop accepting weakness, stop tolerating excuses, and slowly, Evan became unrecognizable mentally. 1 year later, everything changed. Not overnight, gradually. His body improved, his confidence improved, his money improved. But the biggest difference? Consistency. He became the kind of person who kept showing up regardless of feelings. And that made him dangerous, because talented people often stop when motivation disappears. Disciplined people don't. That's why discipline wins long term. Always. One evening, Evan met an old friend who hadn't seen him in over a year. After talking for a few minutes, the friend finally asked, "What happened to you?" Evan smiled slightly. "Nothing special," he said. "I just stopped quitting." And honestly, that was the truth. No secret hacks, no magical opportunity, just repeated discipline over time. People love glorifying talent because it sounds impressive, but talent without discipline fades fast. Meanwhile, average people with relentless consistency eventually become unstoppable. That's what Evan learned. You don't need to be born special. You just need to become harder to stop. Right now, millions of people are sitting around waiting to feel talented enough before they begin, waiting for confidence, waiting for perfect conditions, waiting for proof they can succeed. Meanwhile, disciplined people are quietly building their future every single day. That's the difference. The world belongs to people who keep going after motivation dies. And maybe that's the lesson here. You don't need insane talent to transform your life. You need standards, consistency, discipline. Because in the end, discipline makes ordinary people look gifted